welcome to Brunch Break episode 30. Today we're going to slash the excuse, I don't have enough time. My name is Mrs. Love Chard, and I am your host here for Brunch Break every Tuesday here on the Love Chard page, where I come here to share with you my transformation of over an 80-pound weight loss through the whole food plant-based lifestyle. And I share this with you because I never knew this lifestyle existed. I struggled through weight loss, weight gain, emotional eating, all of these things my whole life. And I don't want other people to have to struggle alone through the same things. And I also don't want them to have to go through trying all of these fad diets that are crap and don't work and are not sustainable and are not optimal, because pretty much you can lose weight on any fad diet, but that's not optimal health. For the most part, none of those fad diets are optimal health in the slightest. Hi, Debbie. Hey, Mary Ellen. Hi, Christine. Thanks for hanging out with me live today. So I want to slay the excuse that we don't have enough time, right? We all have the same 24 hours in a day. I have the same 24 hours in a day as you do. Bill Gates has the same 24 hours. Oprah has the same 24 hours. We all get this time slot, right? And it's a matter of what we do in those 24 hours that impacts the next day, the next week, years from now. And so how are you going to spend those 24 hours? What are you going to do with the time that you're given? And so let me just share a little bit of how I switched my lifestyle around time-wise and how my priorities shifted when I decided that I wanted to make a change. So because I used this excuse like a ton. Like, I don't have enough time. I'm so busy. I was working, at the time I made my lifestyle change, or right before, I was working a full-time job and we were running a full-time business when we lived in Chicago. And so we were busy, but we also made our own schedule for the business part of it. And so I found myself using this excuse like, I'm so busy, and because I'm so busy, I'm so tired. But I was still partying like every weekend. I was still sleeping in. I was still going out to restaurants. I was still spending hours on Facebook. So I had the time. What showed where my priorities were where I was spending that time. And so I had to get real with myself and say, look, what are you doing? Because you do have the time, but look at what you're doing with it. And so I had to shift. And when I stopped going out to so many restaurants and I stopped partying, I therefore stopped sleeping in so late. And I was able to I honestly had so much free time after I cut out things that weren't conducive to a healthy lifestyle. I mean, honestly. So, and not everyone parties as much as I did. I was a huge partier. I should talk about that on one of these brunch breaks. But hey, Sandy, I should talk about that on one of these brunch breaks. But I had so much time once I shifted from my lifestyle choice. Like, once I looked at my unhealthy lifestyle choices and I stopped doing those, I cut them out. I then had all this extra time to go grocery shopping, to look at healthy recipes online, to go for a jog, to go to the gym, and to read a book, and to do all these other things, right? So it's not a matter of time necessarily, because we all have the 24 hours. It's a matter of priorities. So is your health a priority, or is Facebook a priority? Is drinking on the weekends every Friday, Saturday, Sunday a priority, or is your health a priority? And so we have to ask ourselves that and answer it honestly. So much of my lifestyle change at the beginning, so much of it worked this time, or 4.5 years ago, for my final lifestyle change. So many of that, what do I want to say here? So much of my solidity in this lifestyle changed because I was able to call myself out on what I was doing, because I was filled with so many excuses for so many years before, right? It's too hard. I don't have enough time. It'll just be too much. Oh, I don't know what to do. I'm fine where I'm at. Chips and donuts aren't that unhealthy, right? Like, everybody's young once. I'll do it later. Like, all these excuses, I said them all to myself. And once I called myself out on my excuses, I was able to like really see like what I was really able to call myself out and be like, is that really true though? Like, will you do it later? Or, and why are you waiting too? That's another thing. Why are we waiting to make a life? Like, we get one life, guys. We have one life to live. And, I was talking to a couple of my clients a couple of days ago, and we were getting down into why do you want to make a change? And she's like, I had this aunt that was in in a nursing home, dementia, and couldn't tie her own shoes and had to be, all this. And I don't want that to be, I don't want to end up there. I want to do everything I can to prevent that. And what we know now with nutritional science is that food is medicine, and we can do things to help prevent those things. And so we don't want to wait until we're in that situation to make a change. We want to do all the things that we can to prevent that, right? So we know that making healthful changes, we know now with all the nutritional science and the World Health Organization that meat is carcinogenic, right? In particular, bacon and cured meats. And so why are we still eating the things that are causing us to have heart disease and strokes and lead us into early dementia and things like that? Why are we still doing that when we know this information? And this is why I share it, is because it's not that well known. Like, it's not that widely known, and it's not that widely accepted either. Because people will hear that bacon's bad for them. They're like, la, 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 didn't hear that. But we have to like confront what's actually real and what's actually happening and make some actual changes that are going to lead us down the road of a healthful life. Like, yeah, we can live to 100, but do we want to just survive to 100 or 70 or 80, right? Do we want to just survive to that age, or do we want to live and thrive to that age? Like, that's the goal, right? We actually want to live. We want to live our life, and we don't want to have our life lived for us and be fed and have our diapers changed for us. Like, I don't want that. Nobody wants that. So what we do right now, what we do when we're younger, and even if there's 40, 56-year-olds watching, like, making the decision to make changes now will only impact your life in a better way. That's it. It doesn't matter how old you are. Now is the time. Like, whatever now is for you, now is the time to start making some changes so that we can live a fulfilled, healthy life, be here with and for our families and friends, right? I guess I kind of went a little bit off topic this morning talking about that, but I just saw my family this weekend, and I just wish that more people would know the benefits of whole, healthy food and what it can do to your lifestyle, and would really embrace that and start making changes. So back to the topic, I don't have time. Yes, you do have time. It's just a matter of priority. So how are we going to switch what you're actually doing? So for me, I was going to bars and parties a lot. Hi, Lori. We're going to bars, parties, fast food restaurants, movies, popcorn. I was scrolling on Facebook for hours and hours a day. It was one of my like hobbies, I guess. I don't know. I was on Facebook all the time. So some other things, right? Maybe you go to the movies a lot. Maybe you get your nails done once a week. Maybe you sleep in. Maybe you are aimlessly staring at a wall. Whatever it is that isn't really conducive to a healthy lifestyle or moves you forward for right now, so that you can make the changes, and then you can bring the other stuff back. Like, I'm not saying I never go hang out with people. I'm not saying I never go to a movie. Like, I do, but at the beginning of my lifestyle, my lifestyle change, I had to call myself out on those things that weren't helpful and that I really didn't need to do right now because something else was more important, right? I didn't want to look in the mirror and be unhappy with who I saw every single day. So I was going to take a couple hours off of Facebook a day and shift it to reading books, and shift it into making some recipes, and shift it into maybe reaching out and maybe finding a trainer or asking someone for help, or trying to find that support, right? So we need to fill our lives and ourselves and our time. So we're talking about time. We need to fill our time with things that are beneficial to our optimal health. So what are those things? Those could be reading a book. Those could be making a new recipe. Those could be watching some of my Brunch Break replay videos. That could be watching some of the new health documentaries that are out there. The ones that I would recommend, Eating You Alive, Forks Over Knives, What the Health, are probably the top 3 most popular ones. There's a ton out there. Maybe it is wanting to really make a change and wanting that support and guidance to go along with it, in which case I would recommend my monthly membership site, NutriBabe Nation, where we have courses, videos, trainings, tutorials, support group, live videos, Q&As, all of that stuff. That's at NutriBabeNation.com, right? So we can start to replace and fill in with something that is going to help us grow and help us, and at the same time get smaller, right, if we have weight to lose, but help us grow as people and grow in health and be on the road to optimal health, because I know none of you watching right now want to be ridden by something that could be prevented by whole nutrition. Like, no one wants a stroke. No one wants dementia. No one wants to be ridden with things that are brought on by poor food, nutrition, and lifestyle choices. And if you guys want some books, I talked a little bit about dementia and Alzheimer's. Power Foods for the Brain by Dr. Neil Barnard is one of the best books for brain health, cognitive function, and really preparing, or really taking care of our brain in that way. So that would be one that I would definitely recommend for brain health and for those categories. Just generally, of course, Eat to Live by Dr. Joel Fuhrman is how I made my transformation. Another really good one is How Not to Die by Dr. Michael Greger. Those are all really, I mean, again, any of the whole food plant-based doctors have tons of really great books. But those would be the 3 recommendations based on kind of what I shared today. You know, and another thing too is that, you know, I heard the comment this weekend over Thanksgiving. It's like, it's so crazy that I didn't even know I was sick until I was sick. And that's a lot of how disease that is brought on by poor lifestyle and nutrition choices is brought on. Like, there could be a person who runs every morning, but also eats a ton of cheese, a ton of steak, and a ton of butter, right? We can't see the inside of that runner's arteries. So when that runner, this is just a made up scenario, when this 45-year-old seemingly healthy runner has a heart attack, it's like, gosh, I don't understand. Like, he ran every morning. Yes, and that's awesome, but you also have to pair it with the nutrition side of it, and the, you know, the steak and the fried food and the cheese and the butter are all things that directly contribute to heart issues. It's clogging the arteries that lead to your heart. And so, you know, that's why I wanted to mention that, because someone had brought up, like, I didn't know I was sick until I actually, like, got sick. And so what can we do to help prevent that in any form possible? What can we do to help combat and really take care of ourselves, take care of our arteries, take care of our brain, take care of this whole thing that is trying so hard to keep us alive? That's literally the only job of our body, is to help keep us alive. And when we keep punching it and beating it up with crap food and decisions and unhealthy choices, right? It struggles and struggles and struggles, and then it breaks down in one way or another. And that's where disease and illness and things like that come from. So I don't have time. Yes, you do have time. Now is the time. We have one life to live on this earth. How are you going to live it? What are you going to do with that time? Now is the time. Like, there might not be a later. Later may be too far. I don't want to say too far gone, because it's never too late to make a nutrition change. But if we're talking about prevention, right? And really living long and starting early and allowing that time to really heal our body and really thrive, now is the time. And so you do have the time. We just have to switch around our priorities, okay? So Facebook was a big one for me, and I know you guys watching, you're on Facebook now too. So instead of just scrolling on Facebook after this brunch break for another half an hour, what can we do with that half hour that will bring us forward and have us moving forward on the road to optimal health? If you guys want to hang out with me more, get in my monthly membership site, NutriBabe Nation. It's at NutriBabeNation.com. We have over, I don't even know how many members now, well over 70 or 80 members in NutriBabe Nation. It's a monthly membership site, and everything is in there for you to go at your own pace. We do release a monthly new challenge, course, or tutorial every month. And right now we're doing a live holiday challenge. There's a lot of live videos, a lot of interaction, and support groups, tutorials, all kinds of stuff, videos and recipes. Just an awesome hub for all things whole food, plant-based, and lifestyle stuff. And it's not just about food. We talk about husbands, we talk about all kinds of stuff. So get in the nation. All of the info, details, testimonials is at NutriBabeNation.com. So go check that out and get in, girl. I'm waiting for you. And then come over and eat some hummus with me, okay? Have a good day, guys. Have a good Tuesday. I'll see you next week, and I might see you in the nation before that. So have a good day. Bye.